Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. This is the pregame show for Game 7 of Round 1 of the 2021 NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs. Montreal at Toronto, and it's a big game tonight. So just to show you how big a game it is, this guy's really a bit nervous because you can see from Game 1 to Game 7. So Austin Matthews a little bit different today than he looked on the first game. All right, welcome in everybody. Thanks for joining me for this game. It's a pregame show for this game. I will be going over a few things and hopefully answering some of your questions, maybe even being joined by special guests, I'm hoping. And getting all kinds of texts at the same time. So let's see what we got for you. We got 4 people in the room. I thought there'd be more people for this game. So one big thing, fans are back, not just here in Montreal, but fans are back in Toronto. 550 fully vaccinated healthcare workers have been invited to join the team at the game, and they're going to be given Leafs jerseys as well. So all of them. So hopefully they're all Leafs fans. Otherwise, they might not want the jerseys. But I'm sure one of the questions when they called all these people to say, do you want to come down to the game was, are you a Leafs fan? I'm sure. Let me see now. If the Leafs lose tonight to us, or if they beat us but lose later on down the road in this playoffs, they'll own the longest cup drought in NHL history at 55 years. Pretty nerve-wracking. If you're a Leaf player tonight, you can't say, "Yo, no, it's just a regular game, just a regular playoff game." No, this is an important game. Game 7, you lose here, you continue that streak. They've gone all in this year. The pressure has to be enormous on them. Whereas for Montreal, the pressure is what it is. It's normal pressure. I don't think they're the underdog, big-time underdog going into this series. The fact that they can get to Game 7 is something, is something right there. So just hang on. I just got a couple of texts, and I want to see why these are so. When I say win, you win. I think. Okay, no, this is Jeff sent me a couple of things, but I can't put them up here from my phone. Let me see. See if I can show you. But now, when I say win, you win. And Homer says, I think he's talking to you. That's not good. I mean, yeah, he's talking to Homer. Yeah, okay, I get it now. This one I like. Come on. Just Leafs coach looking for Matthews and Marner. Are they under the bed? I got to tell you, I saw some of the stuff that Leafs fans were saying on Twitter, posting to, I think it was Mitch Marner. Yeah, Mitch Marner. It was rather horrible. If you're Mitch Marner, you got to be a bit demoralized coming in here. And, I don't get it. Wait till after they lose to do that, or hopefully they'll win. I mean, but I think they demoralized them a bit. If they did that to all the players, I can only imagine. Jackson, hey, how's it going? Wyatt1711, who just decided to do Go Habs Go like 100 times, 4 different times, so I timed him out. Jack Newell, Daryl Adams, GGR, you don't do the same thing because I'll do it to you too, man. Troy Evans, Delaney, where's Bonnie? Joe Habs, Massimo, D-Mac, Peter, the Hockey Kid, Blade O'Muffin, Jacob Casola, Joe Habs. Did I say Joe Habs already? If I didn't, Joe Habs, Dave Elliott. Hey, everybody. How's that all going? So we should have a good game tonight. What we got now? 22 people. Let's get some thumbs up going in there. If you think you're going to have a good time, give it a thumbs up. And then maybe you will. It's like a wish. You wish on the thumbs up that you'll have a good time, and poof, we're going to have a good time. Depends on who gets the first goal, right, boys? So I'm kind of expecting someone to show up, but a little nervous that he hasn't yet. So, and I'll understand today if he doesn't actually. So, but I did speak to him after. Well, I'll just say, I mean, Scotian Canadien's supposed to be here, but Scotian Canadien, lucky guy, he got picked to go on CBC with Steve Dangle, and they were interviewed about the game. And I'd understand if, his life just got a little bit crazy tonight with that. So if he doesn't show up, that's cool. I get it. But he's supposed to be here. So, and if not, maybe he'll be here during one of the intermissions. So, yeah, if you haven't, I don't know where to find it, but he's on CBC. It happened at 4:20 Eastern time on CBC Toronto, I guess. But check it out if you can find it, and I'm sure that Matt will post the link or something somewhere or show it if he can on his channel. Oh, that's a good point I didn't mention yet. Jake Muzzin was he injured his groin in the last game, and he's out for 3 weeks. So no Muzzin tonight. That's a big blow to them and a bit of a boost for us. You have to figure. So thanks, DMAC, for reminding me of that. Have fun against Winnipeg. Well, you know what? Game's not over yet. So game has to be played yet. So let's see. You call me young fella. Okay. Hey, old man. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Yeah, me too. I hope we can do this tonight. I hope so. They're due for a win. Calling it 4-1 Leafs because they're due for a win. No, they're not due for a win. No. How many years has it been since their last, I guess 20-odd years since their last playoff series win? They're not due yet. They got like 20, 30 more years to go. No worries. Don't make a prediction, buddy, if you don't feel it. Yeah, that was I didn't make. I don't know. I think I was supposed to make that joke in my video that I did earlier. I didn't. But yeah, in case of choking, that's the reason why it's the frontline workers, healthcare. It's healthcare workers, what they said, not frontline. Healthcare. That's just in case the team chokes. They want a lot of people there to, in case the whole team chokes at once. Jackson, am I stressed tonight? No, I'm not stressed for one reason, because you know what? No matter what happens, my day tomorrow is pretty much going to be the same. I mean, pretty much. So, no, I'm not stressed. The stress is on the Leafs fans. We weren't expected to get here. We weren't expected to win this series. So, no, I'm good. Yeah, when the game's on, I'll probably freak out at things. But I mean, right now, definitely not stressed right now. If we're losing, I might get stressed. Do you feel that little of you think the Leafs will win? Do you think that little? Do you think the Leafs will win? I don't know. I've got it 4-1 Montreal. 4-1 Montreal. Jake Evans getting the first goal. That's my pick. I believe. Hang on. I'm going to put that up. I have it here somewhere. Nah, I took it off. Oh, well. It's not in the right spot for me to show it to you. Oh, no, here it is. I believe. Still. Not all the Leafs are saying that, but a lot of Leafs are. John, hot take. He did his second part of his bracket or whatever. He has Montreal coming out against Winnipeg. I kind of think they will too, but you know what? It's a game 7, right? If Montreal just sometimes a team will come out flat and there's no explaining it. If that happens tonight to either team, it's over, right? So it could happen to Montreal just as easily as Toronto. I just think there's no pressure on Montreal. If any team of the two teams who can come out relaxed, and play their game and all that. Oh, we got a guest here. It's got to be Montreal, and I got to think that Toronto's got a lot of pressure, gripping those sticks tight, and I would rather be Montreal. Okay, everybody has been expecting, fresh off his appearance on TV. It's okay, Matt. You don't need the headphones. You don't need them. Anyways, Matt, Scotian Canadian, will be joining us in a minute when he gives me. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go, and we'll put you on. So yeah, I think the pressure on the Leafs is going to play a big part. Plus Muzzin being out. I mean, there's a lot of things there. All right, so I want to introduce everybody to somebody I think everybody here knows, and that is Matt from Scotian Canadian. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
What's going on, Rick? It's great to join you again, buddy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that you're here. Hey, congrats on your appearance on national TV with Steve Dangle. That's bloody well cool, man.
Yeah, dude, that was unexpected. I got the message this morning from CBC, and they mentioned, we're going to try and get a Leafs fan too. And then when I went to do the pre-production call with the network, they said, kind of casually, he goes, yeah, we got Steve Dangle coming on with you. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And in my head, I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy. Yeah. So, and I didn't realize it was national either. So, and he told me, I was like, wow. So, sorry.
Oddly, Steve Dangle put that out, I think before last game, that he wanted them to get a Habs fan for him to do he goes on Twitter and he does it live. He does so he wanted to get a Habs fan, and a few of his Twitter followers, whatever, put out that either me or he should approach one of us to do it. So it's been out there on Twitter for you to do this with Steve Dangle. I mean, or me. That's my jealousy. I'm jealous of the guy, but hey, listen, I'm just joking. But it was out there, and you know what? When it was put out there, I said to everybody, "You're going to get it," because, I mean, it makes sense. But it's funny that it's the CBC that maybe they saw it and then they thought of putting you guys together. But yeah, it's been out there that somebody should join Steve Dangle on his show. So
yeah,
you never know. Maybe next year.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's the gold standard of hockey YouTubers, right? I mean, unfortunately,
I like Steve,
Leafs fan, but yeah, so do I. I mean, I don't always agree with what he says, but I mean, I have and I'm sure you can relate. I have an extreme appreciation for what he does, especially after now doing it for a few years like we have. So yeah, it was kind of surreal to be able to do it.
I'll be honest with you though, I don't watch him when the Leafs win.
Yeah, I don't really watch him a whole lot in general, to be quite honest. But
I only enjoy him when Montreal. I only enjoy him when the Leafs lose because I don't know, it's more fun to watch. I rarely watch him when the Leafs win. So listen, I wanted to ask, I guess we'll talk about a couple things. I did an odds and ends video a little bit earlier today, and it was just talking about stuff that going into the game. So we could talk about that kind of stuff. First of all, it is Yoel Armia's birthday today. So happy birthday to Yoel Armia. He's 28 years old today. I thought he was younger. I don't know why, but he is going to be a UFA, so he has to be 27 at least.
Yeah. Don't the Leafs have a birthday too? Engvall, I think, is today as well.
Yeah.
Pierre Engvall, yeah.
I don't really follow that stuff, so good for Pierre Engvall. I think John at Hot Take put something out about Engvall today, so maybe that's what it was. Here's a question I got for you. Did you notice they paraded John Tavares out on the ice in blue today at their practice, signaling that
maybe some mind games or something, or maybe just motivation for the team, because that would have been extremely quick to get him in the lineup. And I mean, it would have been nice to have him, as much, I'm a Habs fan, and, whatever. It's, if we're being honest, it helps our team that he's out. I mean, I think that's obvious, but me personally, it would have been nice to see both teams fully healthy going at it, but we are where we're at. And that was an interesting development, no doubt, though.
Yeah. I mean, that would be, it would be a big ass task, a week and a half after that happened. I don't see it, but obviously it turned out to be I think just to motivate the team. You got your captain back on the ice skating. Look, he's wearing a blue shirt. Like, it gets them pumped a little bit. I think that's what it is. Kind of shows a little bit of their desperation and their nerves, right? kind of shows that they're nervous and they got to be thinking about it. On that, because when you came in, I was talking about this. What do you think kind of pressure is on the Leafs tonight?
Oh, it's immense pressure, and no doubt they're trying to rally for their captain. They're trying to rally for Jake Muzzin, but the pressure is like nothing they've ever faced before. And I mean, it's deserved. I mean, they've been labeled cup contenders for multiple years now, and especially this year, and they should have been out of the first round by now. And now they're, again, they were down 3-1 and Habs come back, and they should have had this series done, I guess, in their mind. But we are where we're at, and I'm nervous, man, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'm just a ball of nerves, and I think we're gonna see the Leafs, on fire tonight. Like, I think they're gonna be rolling, and as much as Jake Muzzin's out, they've got two young puck moving defensemen that are looking to prove themselves, and I'm worried. And even in the last two games, they outchanced us, and Price was there for us, and yeah, so it's going to be tough, and we're just going to have to keep playing the way that we've played the last two games, and really the whole series. But I've just found the last two games, the Habs are much more focused, much more poised, and they're just, they're not taking stupid penalties. They're not getting worked up. They know what the mission is. And
that sense of urgency has been in their game the last two games. You see that they played basically a 60-minute game. Almost. There was a couple of letdowns, but they didn't last. They've gotten that second period crap out of their system, and what hasn't been their worst period in the last two games. So, there's some good signs there. I'm not as worried, although talking to you, I think I'm getting a little bit more worried. No, I really see that the pressure, I think that's going to be a big factor. And then you're losing Muzzin. Just look at it from there. They have this pressure. They're in Game 7. We lose Muzzin going in. The adversity starts to pile up. And, you fight it in your own head. Now, I know outwardly they're probably full of confidence, but somewhere in there is got to be that thought. And then if Montreal can pull off that first goal, you build on that. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm trying not to be nervous, really. But yeah,
I mean, that's what that's what happened the last two games. We got the first goal or two, and then we saw what happened after that. But no doubt, it's the first goal and it's cliche, but it's so crucial. And yes, the pressure tips to the scale of the Leafs like heavily, but I mean, the Habs haven't been out of a first round in 6 years either. So I mean, that's a long time.
I get it, but I mean, they're huge underdogs going into this series.
Yeah.
I mean, huge underdogs. They should not be here if you look at whatever, So I don't know how much. I mean, there's pressure. Sure, there is, because, sure, they want to advance too. So there's pressure to win the game, but it's not nearly the same. And I really think if Montreal just get off to a good start, they can build on that. And, we'll hopefully see the choke monster bite the Leafs again. Oh, you're out. You got your mute on.
We will see. Yeah, we'll see for sure. I mean, I don't know what was your mind state during Game 6. I mean, that was a roller coaster for me. Was it the same for you? That was.
Yeah, I guess as usual, I try to stay, unless they're really getting like it's a putrid game or they're getting blown out. That might get a little depressed during the game. I try to stay as level as possible. And funny, I usually watch online, and I'm usually behind everybody, but it's on CBC. So I end up being ahead of everybody in the game. So I get to react first. So I really enjoyed that part. So, yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a roller coaster, the first two goals. And I mean, yeah, it's
yeah, I mean, I was thinking about doing a live stream tonight, especially with the, all the CBC News and all that stuff. I figured maybe I should do it, and then eventually I said, you know what, I just can't, because I'm not even sure if it'd be enjoyable for people to watch me watch a game, because I'm literally like pacing, I'm up and down, maybe people would enjoy it, but I almost don't even enjoy watching the games. I'm that stressed.
Yeah, but, I don't think I've ever been that way, though. That's the thing. So I've never been that way. So, and being my age now, I don't go crazy either way, but this is going to be a tough one. I mean, it's going to be really on. Let me put it this way. I hope it's not over for either team in the first period. Because, first of all, doing this, and you got 2 periods, especially if it's them that are just blowing us out, that's going to be, like, really bad. So I just hope it's a close game. We go down to the wire. That's all you can really ask for. And then, we'll have to deal with whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I probably would be expecting another close one. Every one of them's been close outside of the Leafs beating us. It was game 2, I think 5-1 or whatever, and then 4-0 the game after that or whatnot. Anyway, there was a couple where the Leafs
there were 2 bad ones, and the other games have been the other 4 have been close.
Yeah,
I have it 4-1 Montreal because I really think that pressure, I think it's going to get on them. And if Montreal can get that first goal, I can see them scoring a few and Toronto just struggling to get anything. That's
Fingers crossed, man. If we happen to go up, I do not want to see them blow another lead. I'm not much of a predictions guy because I'm just so I like to tell myself I'm not superstitious, but I think I clearly have a bit of a problem. Like I just can't, I don't bet on the team. I can't do predictions. It's just
I usually don't bet. I don't bet against them. I'll never put money against them, and it's rare that I'll even bet money on them because, like you say, I think to me, it kind of jinxes them. So I just don't. I'm not a gambler anyway. So
what about the two-way play of our guys, though? I mean, before the series started, I think that was the key, and the physicality and all that, and that stretching the series out, and that kind of seems how it's played out so far. And that's I think a lot of people said if the Habs can force it to go long, it starts to go in their favor. You know what I mean? So what have you thought about how they've played in general through the series?
You know what? A bit of a surprise. Well, let me put it this way. I should say this. When the series started, we won the first game, right? So then game 2, it wasn't going our way. And, in my chat, I guess in everybody's chat, right? You can get toxic when the first goal scored against us. I reminded everybody that, if you going into the series, someone would have told you Montreal will split the first 2 games in Toronto, man, we would have been happy, right? Really happy. So I said, don't, if they lose, don't, it's not the end of the world, right? We would have been happy. And then when we came to Montreal, I was hoping for a split. I was hoping for a split. We didn't get it. Then when it was 3-1, I put up on the screen on my video all the teams that have come back from that. And Montreal did it in 2010, right? And again, they did it in a similar way. It was the best team in the league for the season, Washington. Big underdogs we were. We had just come off of 2 very flat games and then came back to beat them in 3 straight, to seal it up. So it can be done. For me, as long as it's out there that it's been done, it can be done. So, hopefully they can do it. I think they can do it. I really do. I think I'm not as nervous as a lot of people because I've seen it done before, I guess. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
That's all I can say.
It's a 1-game series now. So
yeah, that's it. And look, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in a 7th game. When everything is down to 1 game. I mean, I was saying earlier that, what if Montreal just this is the bad night, they come out flat tonight? Sometimes teams come out flat. No explaining it, nothing you can do about it. If Montreal or Toronto, either team has that night, could be over early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it's, if you come out flat, it's just credit to the other team for having the energy and getting the chances and playing steady and all that. Like I know I've seen it a lot the last couple of years. I've seen it this year. I've seen it through the playoffs. Habs win the first game, and then Leafs fans are saying, "Oh well, Leafs didn't play at their best, and they still kept it close." It's like, well, maybe they didn't play at their best because Montreal was at their best. It kind of goes both ways. So
it does.
Yeah,
it does. Just because we don't have the superstars that they have, sometimes in a playoff series, it might not. Well, first of all, their superstars, besides Tavares being out, obviously, are quiet. I mean, they've been really quiet. So you can say, are they having a bad playoff, or is Montreal managing to shut them down? And I don't know. It seems to me that we're shutting them down.
Yeah. To me, we said it before the series started. I mean, we know how strong of a two-way player Philip Deneau is, and Suzuki's proven that he's just as, as strong two-way as well. It's not a coincidence that Matt, I don't even want to say it, that certain players on the Leafs happen to go cold. So it's, you got to give credit where it's due. You know what I mean? If the Leafs were lighting us up and they were all in the ozone and sniping past Carey Price, I'd say, you know what, elite talent, they're getting it done, they're doing their job. Same goes for us. They're not able to do so. You got to give credit where it's due to all of the Montreal's defensive players, the skaters, the defensemen as well. Yeah, for sure.
Especially in the playoffs, it becomes even more of a team game because, you get that one guy. Something my dad taught me when I was young. You're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So, you get that one guy on the team has that bad game. That could really, in the playoffs, be all there is, the difference that's needed, right? So it's really important, which is kind of why. Are you surprised they didn't slot Romanov in, considering how little they played Gustafsson?
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, I thought that might be their, hidden card. The Leafs players exhausted from all the minutes they played, been through a grueling series. We've got this fresh young kid. He can play physically. He can move the puck. I thought, perfect opportunity. He's fresh. He's good to go. Slot him in Game 7. But I guess at the same time, he's so young. Maybe he's not ready for that pace of hockey. He hasn't been battling. So I don't know. I probably would have leaned towards putting him in. But I mean, Gustafsson didn't look that bad. He only played the 6 or 7 minutes or whatever. But he had a great big hit on Simmons. He moved the puck well. He did, make some good passes on the power play. And I was surprised to see Kulak with low minutes too, because we know what he can do when he's, getting
but paired with Gustafsson.
Exactly. So I will say that's definitely something I'm worried about if we're just going to roll the 4 guys again, because they just got off a game playing 37, 35 minutes. And I think Edmondson and Petrie were around 30-ish or so. Yeah. That's a lot. So short recovery time. So I don't know. That's definitely something I'm no doubt worried about, especially with the young defensemen on the Leafs side coming in who can, if they get it in the ozone, they can move it around, especially on the power play. Yeah. So, I personally would have liked to see Romanov in there. But
me too. I thought he would go in. Ducharme did say, though, he said he's what did he say? He's not confident, or he's confirming that he'll likely stick with the lineup from Game 6. So maybe we'll see something game time.
Last minute,
maybe. I guess he's leaving the door open for something like that. Because I mean, you know what? Gustafsson's not back next season. Can't see that happening, right? So, I don't think Romanov's going to hurt you any more than Gustafsson might.
Right.
And I think he might be a bigger benefit. So I don't understand why not give him a game of playoff. You think there's because there's rumor out on Twitter that like nobody knows what it is, but there's some kind of controversy here, and that Ducharme's being a little bit slimy with his answers about what's happening with Romanov, and because it doesn't seem to make sense to anybody. Or sometimes the simplest solution is the answer, right?
Yeah,
and it's probably he's worried about the experience, because Gustafsson does have some playoff experience. So
yeah, exactly. I'm not sure there's much of a controversy there with Ducharme. At the end of the day, it's his decision, right? And there was that one quote that he had where he said, I'm not going to spell out to the media what I'm saying to Romanov. I'd like to have those conversations one-on-one behind. And I like that answer because I think that respects the player, and regardless of what's going on between them, at least. And I'm hopeful, and he's known for his communication with his players, so I'm hopeful that that's the truth. There's, maybe even if Alex doesn't agree with it, at least maybe he knows why it's happening or what the plan is or whatnot. So,
hang on, I just got to take care of some business because I've been been lax on it. Slinksy, some Slinksy hype. Thank you so much. Slinksy hype and Dono hype in the room. Campbell and Price are the MVPs of this series. Yeah, I think you can pretty much got to say that right now.
Yeah, I mean, Campbell, yeah, no doubt. He's been incredible for the Leafs. Absolutely incredible. It's been hard for us to get anything past him. And same goes for Price and what he's doing for us. So, the Leafs, of go figure, they end up with a, goalie that's getting paid $1.5 million, and they got him for next year too. And all of a sudden he's putting up elite numbers and is their starter, right? Because that was the big question mark moving forward with Freddie Anderson as a UFA. So go figure they managed that, but credit to the pro scouting. I've always loved Jack Campbell. I was a big fan when he was in LA. The same thing that happened when Freddie showed. I was like, when they acquired Freddie, I'm like, oh, God damn it, man. He's a good goalie. And then they get Campbell. It's the same thing. It's great. Yeah, he might be a backup, but he has the potential. He's approaching his prime, and now we've seen what has happened. So, definitely the two goalies, MVPs, no doubt. I will say Carey's been tested way more.
I was going to say, I think he's had the harder chances against, right? But, I mean, the results are the same as far as they're both giving quality. I think Campbell's save percentage is .937 and Price's is .926. It's close enough, And I just think, Carey's been tested a little more. I think I got two more of these. Delaney, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate the super sticker. I can't see them on here, the super stickers, but I appreciate that. He'll be on later in the game. And Peter, thank you so much again. Some Peter and some Delaney. Peter and Delaney. Sounds like an old folk group. Peter and Delaney. Some Peter and Delaney hype and some Dono hype in the room. Appreciate that, guys. I had a question. Have you heard about the I guess it's controversy about who's coaching the team? Have you heard about that Bergevin has a walkie-talkie that he communicates to the bench with?
Well, yeah, he does.
Is that unusual?
He clearly did have one. I think it might have been. I didn't recognize the guy who walkie-talkie down for that video review call, but it's probably his walkie-talkie. It was probably the video coach or an assistant GM or who was in charge of video or something like that. I doubt Bergevin's on the walkie-talkie, and if he was, there'd be clips of him doing so. But optically, the whole review thing did not look good, especially with right before that, people were saying, "Oh, Bergevin's making the coaching decisions. He's making the lineup. He wants his Reynolds in there and all that stuff." But I don't know. Maybe he is. I kind of doubt it, though. I like to trust what the guy says. He's always upfront in his press conferences. He doesn't bullshit. He as best as he can, he lays out what he's trying to do. And he's always said that, my coach is my coach and they make the decisions. Obviously they communicate, but he leaves it up to them. But I mean, I don't know.
But you think it's possible that, it answers some of the questions we've had about Ducharme's coaching and line change and the lines that have been in there, and the fact that Sherratt Weber are like glued to each other and he really won't change that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's worked the last two games with Sherratt.
That's
Weber,
true.
Right?
That's true. Right.
It's hard to say. You can only speculate. I would hope that's not the case because your coach should be the guy in charge, especially when he fired Julien and promoted Ducharme. He explicitly said this was his guy, right? So if he's your guy, you better goddamn well trust him.
Bring him in, let him coach. So now, what if it does come out and we find out that Bergevin has had his hand on the scale, making the coaching decision? You think that's a firing offense for him?
Well, I don't think it would ever come out. You know what I mean? I don't think that.
Yeah, you probably.
How would you ever find that information, right? But
someone could leak it.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think he's even close to getting fired right now. He's got the year left on his term. I think Molson's going to ride it through, and
I think so too. For that,
and it's going to be a tough year next year. But the big thing right now is all the kids taking step forwards. Romanov will be a big one next year for us because the defense does obviously still need some work when it comes to puck movement. And with how old they are, you need to see what's next at this point. Yeah. So there's that. But I mean, if Kotkaniemi keeps progressing how he has and Suzuki and then we see a good look at what Caulfield brings, I just don't see how you can fire a GM who brought all these guys in, right?
I tend to agree. I mean, he's done a lot of good, He really has. I mean, this team is completely different. On that note, what you think? Say they lose here to the Leafs, and maybe regardless whether they go on or they lose, but I think if they do lose here, you think there's some big changes coming to the team? Like trying to go, like I'm thinking more about like a youth movement. You think that's an option that they might go to instead of a rebuild, go with a youth movement type thing?
Yeah, well, before the playoffs started, I was pretty explicit in saying that, we made the playoffs. We've taken a step forward. As long as we make the playoffs and don't absolutely, the season doesn't collapse in front of us and Calgary overtakes, I think Bergevin and Ducharme return, regardless of what happens in the playoffs. But then, not being able to score and almost going down 4-1, I was starting to change my mind. I was like, it might be. And I even said youth movement or get rid of Bergevin. So I'm actually hopeful that regardless of what happens in this series, I do think they'll be back. And I'm hopeful that it will be a youth movement next year. And they have the opportunity to do that with Tatar leaving, maybe even Deneau leaving. I mean, I'd hope that. That's a tough call. That's a really tough call because he's so crucial to the team. It's going to depend on what he wants. And then if he does leave, you got plenty of minutes to give Suzuki and Kotkaniemi. So, yeah, I'm hopeful. It's going to be hard to have a youth movement on defense because Norlinder and Harris are both a year out.
Won't be
not playing next year. So, I don't know. I think they're both back, and I do want to see the kids get more of a role next season. They need to take that step forward, and they can't do it with limited time, right?
Now, I think I know how you're going to answer this, considering how the dude is playing right now. If they do go for a youth movement, you think Price wants to be around for that? Would that be a controversy in your mind? You're off. You muted again.
I think he's committed to the Canadiens, no matter what. I think he's rode it through this far. I don't think he's gonna give up on them now. I mean, he's been their rock this long, and they talk about how strong of a leader he is. I don't think he's gonna bail on these kids, So, and I think, he's a smart guy, and I think he's seen enough from these kids that holy shit, we got a future here. And not only that, they got the support from someone like Toffoli, who's locked up, and Anderson, who's locked up. And, so it's not just kids. They've got some great players that are in the prime of their careers right now. I think he'd be taking a big, big risk going somewhere else, especially if it's Seattle, because, I don't know how you repeat what Vegas did because GMs are going to be onto it and teams are going to be onto it. So I think it'd be a big risk for him to waive his no move and then go somewhere else. I think he's committed at the very least until the last year or two of his deal. So, and I'm fine with that. I mean, after, I have my doubts the odd time off. Shit, we're paying our goalie $10.5 million. The Leafs are paying theirs $1.5 million.
Right.
But when you see what he does in the playoffs, I mean, how do you not want that, right? And as long as Bergevin continues managing the cap the way he does, I think we'll be okay.
But it could hamper his ability to possibly get an elite type of a forward. Although I believe we're developing them, right? I think we've got 2 or 3 right now here on the team that if we have a couple of years, 2-3 years down the road, I think Suzuki and Caulfield and possibly KK will be considered in that area, right? And it's so hard to get somebody like that without paying through the nose, basically. And I guess if you want to hang on to Price, you're going to have to develop them. Right?
I like that you said that. You can't get these guys without just, emptying your pool of prospects or chucking out tons of picks or taking a risk that you pay up for a guy that you think is going to be a lead and then, oh shit, 2 years later, he's not. So I think the smart way is to draft and develop and specifically, I think that's why he's gone with the defense that he has. Cause how are you going to sign a young elite puck moving defenseman, which is what we need? We're just going to have the bruisers, the shutdown guys, and, lean on Petrie and until the Harrises and the Norlinders and the Strubles are ready to go. I think as long as one of those three pan out, we're laughing.
I can see that could be their plan, right? Is it being, like you say, the draft develop, going with the kids now that are here and bring them, and then fill in what you need with veterans, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it going, considering, look at the crop of kids that are on the team right now that are in the pipeline. That's a good crop of kids. I'm not saying they're all going to make it, because that never happens, but some of them will.
Yeah.
And exactly. So I can see them going that way. Definitely. So I think I'm going to call it here, because I need 15 minutes before the game to get stuff done.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
I'm not going to ask you for a prediction, because I know you don't like doing that. But you if you decide you want to join us for the intermissions, we're here. You got the link. Otherwise, enjoy the game. And Matt, I really want to thank you for joining us here tonight. It was really nice of you, especially after being out on the big stage today. So so congrats to you on that. And once again, thanks for being here, and enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game, and listen. Don't have a heart attack. It's not worth it, man.
Bro, I'm gonna try. Yeah, and thanks for having me on again. I always, I'll do my best to get on as much as I can, and I like to pay it forward. And I respect how much work you put into this. So, I'm glad that we're friends and we're able to do this.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. You're a friend of the channel, and you shall always be. Even if I'm a little jealous, it's okay. I'm allowed.
Cheers, buddy. Go,
okay, man, have a great time.
Yeah.
See you, man. Awesome. So I'm going to take off here. That was really fun talking with Matt. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I didn't get to everything everybody was going to say. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Delaney, and I want to thank Peter, and I want to thank Slinksy for the donations. You guys will be in that's not there, in the draw for the hat. And don't worry. Now, if we do make it into the second round, not all the pre-games will be like that. I will get to you guys stuff more. But it's not often we have Matt on, and I just thought we'd have a really good conversation. So I'll be back here in just over 15 minutes with the game at 7 o'clock. So hopefully, I had a bunch of stuff to show you guys, but we'll get to it on the next one. Thanks everybody for being here. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation with Matt, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring that notifications bell. That'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Brown, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, but hopefully you'll be back in 15 minutes, and peace out everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye everybody.